Excellencies, esteemed ministers, and distinguished guests, greetings from Jordan. I would like to express my appreciation and gratitude for the opportunity of joining this ministerial session as a rapporteur of the civil society in Jordan. This year's conference comes after a decade of the Syrian conflict and the subsequent displacement of Syrians. It also comes after a year of the onset of COVID-19, a pandemic of immense magnitude that spared no country or people. Its impact intertwines with the refugee crisis to create more adverse scenarios and deepen burden upon refugees and their host communities in Jordan. For the last year, the new dynamics that were created by COVID crisis have disrupted supply chains, closed borders and markets, harmed formal and informal workers, bankrupted many small and medium enterprises, and stretched the dwindling resources of government as economic life almost ground to a halt. But I'm not telling you anything new. Similar disruptions have happened elsewhere, but Jordan has had to endure double crises: the refugees and COVID, both occurring at a time when its economy was in a prolonged downturn. Consequently, capacities have been stretched to the limit. Shouldering the responsibility for the refugees should be a global commitment and not that of the host country alone. No country should bear alone the burden of being hospitable and kind unto the other. The pandemic also taught the world that the rich countries should also participate in bearing the costs and mitigating the consequences of COVID. It is a global concern. Rich countries that can afford to purchase vaccines should assist those that cannot or are under fiscal duress. Why? Because if we don't vaccinate all, the pandemic and its threat will remain imminent to all countries. Yes, if the world is to put an end to the pandemic, no country should be left alone in facing it. The pandemic also taught us that localization matters. Local NGOs should have a primary role in managing and delivering aid. Local NGOs have grown in sophistication and capabilities in Jordan. We must look to the role of civil society within the response. Both local and international civil society organizations are essential resources, and their expertise, knowledge, and collaboration must be integrated throughout interventions in education, livelihoods, protection, and health. We must look towards supporting national stakeholders, in particular in addressing emerging issues and joining the capabilities of local civil society through genuine participation and involvement in order to ensure sustainable ownership at the community level. It is vital that Jordan continues to receive adequate support in meeting these challenges. In particular, we must invest in education during the pandemic and enhance remedial strategies to prevent the further dropout of students. We must support teachers with augmented training and mainstream social and emotional learning while ensuring quality contact hours in schools throughout the kingdom. We must support the employment of the most vulnerable and put decent work at the heart of all livelihood programming and policies. It is also imperative to include all communities in national response plans and economic recovery packages and to integrate protection throughout the response. And we must prioritize mental health and psychosocial support and ensure quality and affordable health care for Syrian refugees and their host communities. It is crucial that we prioritize assistance to host countries and financial and technical support to civil society in these countries in order to address current challenges and empower vulnerable communities and their resilience. Thank you very much for your patience. I wish you all a very good and fruitful discussion. Thank you.